The consequences of disrespecting wisdom, a story of humility and wisdom. In the ancient city of Vidyapuri, known for its scholars and spiritual seekers, there was a young man named Kailas. Kailas was ambitious and proud of his sharp intellect. He believed that he could challenge the ancient wisdom passed down by the sages and often made fun of those who followed traditional spiritual practices. He scoffed at the sacred Vedic wisdom, ridiculed the practices in the Sastras, and mocked those who lived a simple, peaceful life devoted to spirituality. Despite his arrogance, Kailas was known to be highly knowledgeable in logic and philosophy. He often debated with the learned men of the city, who spoke about the importance of faith, humility, and living according to the teachings of the scriptures. But Kailas, full of youthful pride, always had a quick retort. "What good is ancient wisdom when we live in such a rapidly changing world?" he would say. "The world is full of people following outdated customs. I don't need these old beliefs. I can rely on my own reasoning and intellect." His friends, many of whom were disciples of the great teachers of the city, often tried to speak with him, but Kailas would only laugh at their earnest attempts to guide him. "You people are living in a fantasy world," he would say dismissively. "The Sastras and scriptures are irrelevant today. They don't hold any power in the modern world." One day, as fate would have it, a great sage named Raghunandan passed through Vidyapuri. He was well known for his deep knowledge of the Vedas, his peaceful demeanor, and his ability to solve even the most difficult problems with wisdom and grace. His reputation had spread across the lands, and people from far and wide came to hear him speak. Kailas, hearing about the sage's arrival, decided to challenge him. "I will show everyone that this old man is just another blind follower of out-of-date traditions," Kailas thought, eager to prove his own superiority. He went to the place where the sage was staying and, with confidence, began to question him. "Sage Raghunandan," Kailas said with a sneer, "tell me, what is the value of these Vedic teachings that you so dearly cling to? Are they not simply superstitions, unproven by reason or logic? How can you, a man of wisdom, follow outdated customs without questioning them?" The sage, with a calm smile, looked at Kailas and replied, "Kailas, I see that you are a learned man, but you have not yet understood the deeper wisdom of life. Vedic wisdom, which has been passed down through generations, is not merely a collection of rituals and rules. It is the foundation of our understanding of life, of the nature of the self, and the universe. It is timeless, and when practiced with devotion, it brings peace to the mind and heart." Kailas, frustrated by the sage's gentle response, continued to argue. "You speak of peace, but what about the power of reason? The ability to think critically and question everything? These teachings you follow are for the weak-minded." The sage, still calm, responded, "Those who ridicule peaceful people, who live with love and humility, and who scoff at the sacred teachings of the Vedas, come to grief unnecessarily. True wisdom is not about winning arguments or proving oneself superior. It is about understanding the deeper truths of life and living in harmony with them. Your intellect is sharp, but without humility and respect for the wisdom of the ages, you will find that it leads you nowhere." Kailas was not satisfied with this response and turned away in anger, but as he left, a small voice inside him began to question his own thoughts. Over the next few days, a strange feeling of restlessness began to stir in him. He tried to sleep, but found no peace. His mind, once so sharp and focused, became clouded with doubts. He could not understand why, despite his intellectual abilities, he felt so unfulfilled. Finally, in the depths of the night, Kailas realized the truth in the sage's words. The more he ridiculed the teachings and mocked the peaceful lives of others, the more he had distanced himself from true peace and happiness. The ancient wisdom of the Vedas was not something to be dismissed lightly. It was a treasure trove of knowledge, passed down with love and care, and had endured because it held the key to a balanced, meaningful life. With a deep sense of remorse, Kailas went to the sage the next day. He bowed down at Raghunandan's feet and said, "I was wrong, wise sage. I mocked the Vedic teachings and ridiculed those who live in peace. I now understand that true wisdom is not in intellect alone, but in humility and respect for the knowledge of the past." The sage, with a warm smile, placed his hand on Kailas' head and said, "True wisdom comes when you acknowledge the limitations of your knowledge and remain open to learning from the eternal wisdom that surrounds us. Only then will you find peace in your heart." Kailas went on to become a great scholar and teacher, but he did so with humility, respecting the ancient teachings and living a life in harmony with them. He never again ridiculed the peaceful or the learned, and instead, devoted himself to the path of wisdom and understanding. Moral of the story: those who blaspheme Vedic wisdom, ridicule sacred traditions, and deride peaceful people, come to grief unnecessarily. True wisdom lies not only in intellect but in humility, respect, and the understanding that the teachings of the past have value. Only when we embrace this wisdom with reverence can we find true peace and fulfillment. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a like, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to the channel for more valuable content like this. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.